Hi, I'm Joseph Giunta, the music director of the Des Moines Symphony, and I'm really excited about Gerard Schwarz coming in and guest conducting the Des Moines Symphony on January 30th and 31st. We're going to talk a little bit about that program today. Jerry is a terrific gentleman. He has an extensive and illustrious career as a conductor, 27 years in Seattle, and now he's currently the conductor laureate. He's been music director of the Mostly Mozart Festival in New York City in the summers, music director of the Royal Liverpool Orchestra for 5 or 6 seasons, and a real proponent of American music and American composers. He's recorded over 350 albums, CDs, and we're very excited about having him here. I first heard Julian play in Aspen maybe 4 or 5 years ago. 2 years ago, he won the first international string competition in Hong Kong in August of 2013, and has since gone on to play with Syracuse and Dallas and some really wonderful orchestras. So not only am I excited about hearing him play the Shostakovich Concerto, but also the fact that his dad is conducting will make it not only special for them, I'm sure, but also special for our audience. For as long as I've followed Jerry's career, he has always had a tremendous penchant for music education. And most recently, he has formed an all-star orchestra, which is an orchestra that's formed specifically for musical television shows that are aired on PBS. And he's done, I believe, 2 years of these. And this all-star orchestra are some of the finest players from 3 of the major orchestras in our country. They get together, they rehearse, and they produce these 8 programs. It's much like similar to what was in my childhood when I would go to the young people's concerts of Leonard Bernstein back in the late 50s. And this is what it reminds me of, except it's far more high-tech and colorful and interesting. The Snow Maiden is a wonderful little opera that Rimsky wrote in 1880. It was premiered in 1882 in Russia. It's full of color and really fascinating instrumentation. You know, sometimes with some of these composers, if the music isn't as maybe exciting or brilliant as we'd like, if the orchestration is clever, then it keeps our imagination, and that's what this piece is. I think it's a terrific piece, and it's a first time for the Des Moines Symphony. I always try to find pieces that are new and interesting for the orchestra and its audience, and I think this is a real winner. What a great piece to start our program with. It's hard to find a piece by Shostakovich that's not wonderful and deep and full of either humor or satire or angst or depth. He was a remarkable composer, and I had the great privilege of also meeting him on several occasions. There's no 20th century composer that I admire most as I do Shostakovich, for a lot of reasons, but the biggest reason is that I feel that so much of his output, so much of the music that he wrote is important music. Sure, some of it's about wars and propaganda and angst of one's life, but the depth of that emotion is in every note that he's ever written. So this is a great piece of music, the Shostakovich Concerto, and Julian will play it as well as it can be played, I'm sure. When I was very young in school at Northwestern, I had a wonderful music theory teacher, and I was silly enough one day when he was lecturing about Brahms, I put my hand up and I said, if Brahms was such a great composer, why did he only write 4 symphonies? Beethoven wrote 9, Schubert wrote 9, Bruckner, and so on. And he laughed and he said, Joe, he said, we should all be so lucky to write 1 great symphony, let alone 4. And now, you know, you fast forward 30, 40 years, I know exactly what he meant now, because every single symphony of Brahms is a great one. And no other, including Beethoven and Mahler and Schubert, no other composer can say that. They've written good symphonies, only a few great ones. Brahms wrote 4 great symphonies. This last one is the pinnacle of his life. It's melodic, it's got some some of the most gorgeous, innovative melody. Brahms was although he was a traditionalist, his music was based on Mozart and Haydn, Bach before him. He was also an innovator. He did things with developing harmony, development sections like no other composer could. He's a brilliant, brilliant composer. And Schwarz is going to come completely prepared. He's conducted this piece many times, and he'll bring something very, very special, not only to our musicians and as an interpreter, but also to our audience. I know it'll appeal to everyone. Well, I'm excited about the concert, obviously, and tickets are available through dmsymphony.org or through Ticketmaster, or certainly by showing up at the box office about 30 minutes ahead of each concert. January 30th at 7:30 and January 31st at 2:30. Look forward to seeing you at the Symphony.